AI is incredible. It can teach you how to fry an egg and even write a poem, pirate style. Yarr! But it knows nothing about your work. Slackbot is different. It doesn't just know the facts. It knows your schedule. It can turn a brainstorm into a brief. And it doesn't need to be taught. Because Slackbot isn't just another AI. It's AI that knows your work as well as you do. Visit slack.com/meet Slackbot to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast? Smart move. Being financially savvy? Smart move. Another smart move? Having State Farm help you create a competitive price when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review, write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it and tell everybody you know about it, and then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
Well, I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, I can't refuse it. I didn't seek it. I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. And I'm grateful for this minute, this moment, this opportunity to come and be with you another time, one more time, to share with you some ideas to help you to have greater health, wealth, and security, and to grow your future, your finances, your faith, your families, and your fortunes. Come on, somebody. Well, I'm grateful, grateful, grateful. Now, I take a moment to always start with that 1 minute, God's minute. Then I take a moment to give God glory, to thank God for life and strength and health. I thank God for the blessings he's given me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that he has blessed me with the opportunity to be able to impact and inspire people using this platform. And then the people who have said yes when I've asked them to be my guest, which have made this the number one self-help show in the country, the best motivational thinkers, the best titans of industry, the greatest success coaches have all said yes. It may take me a while to get them on, but they eventually say yes. And that's what made this show such a blessing to me and so many others. And then I want to thank, after thanking God, I want to thank our sponsor, Truist Financial, and I am grateful for them. They've been so supportive. And I want to tell you about their new program, Truist Money and Mindset. See, the way you think and feel about money can affect your confidence and your total well-being. That's especially true when life gets tough and throws challenges your way. So Money and Mindset from Truist gives you tips and tools to help you feel more financially prepared through your life moments, planned moments, or those that just happen. It is incredible. You can check them out at truist.com, TRUIST.com. Truist Money and Mindset. You'll find it in the main menu. My guest today is a world changer. He is unfortunately no longer here in the land of the living. He passed on, but I recently played some excerpts from him on my daily radio show on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell, and so many people said they were inspired. So I went into the archives. I found this interview with my dear friend, Hall of Fame speaker, best-selling author, multimillionaire, producer, and achiever, Keith Harrell. Let's get going with this interview with the late, great Keith Harrell. America, I'm excited that you're listening to the show. I want to thank you all for your emails and your notes and how many have been just encouraging me that this show is having an impact. I remember James a few weeks ago who said he started listening to it after years of talking about starting his business, and he listened to the show a couple weeks, got motivated, got inspired, and he started that business and he got his first big order. I'm excited about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking about it for the last hour. I've been talking about my buddy who's going to come on the line. I believe he's one of the greatest motivational speakers on the planet Earth. He is one of the greatest personalities. He sometimes tells people I have an impact on him, but he don't know how much of an impact he has had on me. I told you earlier how he had an impact on my daughter, and her whole attitude shifted after he just gave her a call and he had a conversation with her, and she's now gone on to be a very successful entrepreneur. He is the author of the book, Attitude is Everything. He is known across corporate America as the Attitude Coach, America's Attitude Coach, Dr. Attitude. He is known for his incredible programs. He's in demand. He's probably the hottest motivational speaker and personality on the circuit today. He speaks for every major corporation has brought him in. He's been in the Wall Street Journal. He has a PBS special. You've seen him on television. And I'm honored and proud to have my good buddy on the radio with me across America, Mr. Keith Harrell, Dr. Attitude. Brother Keith, are you there?
Well, let me just, I want to give praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I love you so much, brother, and I just thank all your listeners for you just impacting lives. You're just making a mark that cannot be erased. And I'm just honored to be on here for a few minutes to share with your listeners that you truly are making a difference and you inspire us all. And whatever I can do today, I give credit to God. And I just thank God for what you're doing, my brother. You are my coach, and I'm honored to be here.
Well, I told my listeners that before you got on, I told them, I said that one of the people who's talked to me and encouraged me over the years was Keith Harrell. One time I called him and I was really whining and crying. I was beat up from the road. I'd been on the road for a couple weeks or a couple months, and I said, man, I hate flying. And he stopped me right there. He said, Willie, stop. He said, what do you love to do? I said, well, I love to inspire people. I love to motivate them. I love to encourage them. I love to help them lift their spirits. He said, okay, are you willing to pay a price to do that? I said, well, yeah. He said, don't ever say you hate it again, because what you speak is what you become. You just grow that whole attitude in a negative perspective. Speak good. And that's just the price you pay. And from that day to this, when people ask me, how about the travel? I say, I love to travel because I get to do what I do. And that's because of my friend Keith Harrell. He's impacted my children. My son is his godson, and he takes care of him. He encourages him. He's now in law school, and he encourages him from the time he met him when he was a little boy. So I'm thankful for Keith Harrell. Keith, let me ask you, Keith, tell us a little bit about your story. Because you haven't always been a speaker. You had some setbacks along the way. You had some challenges, but you turned those into comebacks. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I think that's why we tune into your show, Willie. It's because if we're real with ourselves, we all go through ups and downs. Life is somewhat like a roller coaster. And for those listeners that tune in all the time to your show, what you help us do is renew our mind. You help us reconnect to who we are. And we can do all things through Christ, but we need to be reminded of that. And that's what your show does. Obviously, growing up in what I say, sunny Seattle, Washington, I'm a born optimist. I grew up extremely shy, extremely timid. I had a stuttering problem most of my young life, and went to a speech therapist twice a week. Then I fell into basketball, and through some great coaching and a strong father and a loving mom, I was able to become a great athlete, became a high school All-American, got scholarships to play probably anywhere in the country, chose to stay home to be close to family, started off 4 years Division I, and even through that process, I became seriously ill in college. Didn't think I was going to live 1 year and had the red shirt, and then didn't get drafted in the NBA. So had some setbacks there and thought I would one day play in the NBA, and then went on to work for one of the greatest companies in the world, IBM, and that was a transformation experience. I learned about business, and then I went through a downsize with IBM, and never thought I could own my own company. Never thought I was smart enough to do that, and God pushed me out, and that's where I met you in August of '92 in Orlando at the NSA National Speakers Association conference, and I remember you, Willie. You were running around that doggone convention like me, on fire, trying to find somebody to help us, and we bumped into Thelma Wells and Hattie Hill and Larry Wingett, and you and I just, you and I continue to search out those that are the best in what they do. Les Brown is our mentor, and you and I think three things you and I do. Number one, we count the cost, and then we ask ourselves, are we willing to pay the price? And then we always remind ourselves how bad we want it. Yes. And those are three simple principles that if anybody listening today can look at your success and why you've gotten where you are, it's because of those three things, and you're trusting the Lord and willing to pay that price, and that's been my philosophy all my life, and so that's kind of a basic thing of what I do. And now I'm so blessed to speak to organizations like you do, and we're so blessed to do what we do. And so your listeners today, we all have a gift, and hopefully today this show will, I just want to speak the truth to say, I struggle like anybody else at times. I can have a down moment, but I realize I don't have to have a down day.
Amen. You have become America's attitude coach. Your book, Attitude is Everything, is not just a super international best-selling book, but it's now become a franchise almost. I mean, everywhere I go, people are talking about attitude is everything. Have you heard Dr. Keith Harrell, the attitude coach? And it's because you tell people that your attitude determines your altitude, don't you, Keith?
Well, we know that there's nothing new on the face of the sun, and we know an attitude is a feeling, it's a mood, it's a mindset. I got a 2-word definition. It's your life. And so when you look at, it starts with how you feel. I mean, this day was made for us to rejoice and be glad in it. I think God is trying to tell us something about putting on the right attitude, having the right mindset, and the right joy in your heart makes a tremendous difference in how you attack this world. So attitude is the foundation of everything we do. And I just realized that if I can share a message, one of my, spiritual coaches, Dr. Creflo Dollar, taught me that, Proverbs 4:7, and all that you get understanding. And if you can just apply the right mindset to every situation you're involved in, I think God can elevate you higher and higher and higher. And that's just, I want to keep it simple, keep it real. And if you just apply the basic truth, the truth is the only thing that can take you from one level of success to the next.
That's the truth. In my books, in both of my books, and many of you heard my music, Money Making Music, it's all about your attitude. I quote Keith in everything that I do because he's one of my dear friends, and he has impacted my life. I'm going to read a little quote from one book right now and another book later. It says, in my book, It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life, it says, Keith Harrell is one of my buddies from the National Speakers Association and a great author and author of Attitude is Everything. He says in that book that there are billions of people in the world, and one thing that everybody has is an attitude. Some might have arms, legs, eyes, ears, and some may not, but everyone has an attitude. The good news is that you do not have to buy it. It's free. But if you want an attitude that works for you, that improves your quality of life and enables you to accomplish your dreams, then you have to work for it, work on it, and work at it. It is not something that you can sit around and wait for. To get a positive attitude, you must make a decision. You must realize that you may not be able to control the things which happen around you or the things which happen in you, but you can control the things that happen in you, and that attitude is everything. Make the decision to have a good, positive, and productive attitude every day. It's up to you. Am I right about it, Keith?
Boy, you go on with your bad self, man. You get me motivated.
I got it from you, my man. I listen to you. I learn from you. I grow from you because you are the best attitude coach. I tell people in my speeches, if you want to change your attitude and get success, you got to buy Attitude is Everything. Make it. It's like a success system that you just have to read it and grow through it and go through it. Am I right about it?
Well, when I started in the business, at that first conference, I told people my message was entitled Attitude is Everything. And I heard so many people tell me that you're not going to make it with that title because it's a fluffy title. It doesn't sound like a lot of content. And I just, thought that this is what God has given me, and this is the lane He's called me to run in. And now I look around, there's a lot of speakers speaking on some part of attitude, and I'm excited about that because I think the world has come to realize that it's such an important part. If you look at the word attitude, And if you look at our alphabet system and you put a number to each letter, like A would be 1, B would be 2, C would be 3. If you look at the word attitude and put the number value to each one of those letters, A would be 1, T would be 20, the word attitude adds up to 100%. So one thing I can guarantee you, there's nothing called 110%, 150, there's only 100%. But if you show up in life with whatever you're doing with the right attitude, you're always guaranteed to give 100%.
Woo-wee, man, this is good, rich stuff, 100%. Look, folks, you got to stay around because I got my buddy on the line. That's right. I've got a program from the archives featuring the Hall of Fame speaker, Dr. Attitude, Keith Harrell. You want to call people. You want to invite people over. You want to turn up the radio. You want to share this podcast because this is life-changing stuff. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show and podcast. And for sure, the best is still yet to come. Stay tuned.
Afraid of flying, I always get my dreams on the ground. Life had enough ups and downs, but Lord, since I met you, all that's changed in the blink of an eye.
Are you ready to revolutionize your relationship with money? I'm Brian Ford, a financial wellness expert.
And I'm Bright Dixon, an expert in positive psychology. Together, we host Money and Mindset with Bright and Brian, a podcast from Truist Bank that's all about exploring the relationship between your money, your mindset, and your well-being.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts or truist.com/money and mindset podcast.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people can make $1 million, lose it, make a second million, lose that, then make a third million, while other people can't even make ends meet? Well, the reason is that those people know the recipe for success. And that recipe is available to everyone if you will do what they did. They made a habit of getting positive, motivational resources of great thinkers and great learners. And I want to offer those same kind of resources to you. We've developed a free page on my website. It's wjspeaks.com/gift. wjspeaks.com/gift. On that site, we've got resources, books, audios that help you to grow, and they're free. So go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, and get some of those resources, and then share that page with your friends and your family members. We want to impact and inspire millions of people. And remember, if you enjoy this message on this podcast, like it, share it, and post a review about it, and make a difference in the lives of others by letting them know about it. Have a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude.
You're listening to Willie Jolley on Across America. I'm so excited. I got my good friend Keith Harrell on the line. I'm going to read another little quote for you from my book, A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback. Keith Harrell is the author of Attitude is Everything. Keith worked for IBM for 14 years and expected to be there until he retired. Yet one Friday afternoon, Keith and 650 of his co-workers were asked to come to a special meeting. At the meeting, they were told that IBM was announcing their first layoff in their 65-year history. They were told that 80% of those employees would be gone in 3 months. Keith shared with me that at that moment, the fear was in the room. It was gripping the room and with anxiety. Some were shaking and getting physically ill. After the announcement was made, Keith jumped up and said, "Sir, I have a question." They said, "What's your question, young man?" He said, "Well, sir, once the 80% are gone, can I get a bigger office, one with a window view?" The room broke up in laughter. Keith said he realized that humor was necessary at that moment to help people to get a grip and to keep them from falling apart. A good friend nudged him and said, "Hey, Keith, Mr. Positive, you know you'll probably be the first to go." And he was the first to go. But he turned his life around by using that positive attitude. He's gone on to become the author of Attitude is Everything. He has a new book called Connect that's already making waves across America. He's in demand, I mean high demand, as one of America's top corporate speakers, as well as speaking at churches and encouraging people with his great faith. I'm telling you, folks, I'm honored to have him on the line. He has created a multi-million-dollar business, and he has coaching programs and books and systems to grow your people. I'm honored to have you on the line with me, Keith. Now, Keith, we talk about people with their attitude. Why is it so many people have a negative perspective? What is it that stops them?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking when you look at the world today, when you look at, we're being bombarded with negative news, how many shows do we have like this? I mean, you're the number one radio show in the country because it's an uplifting message. It's about encouragement. And most of the news, the television, the newspapers, it's all about doom and gloom. And so if you constantly program into your heart negativity, that's the side you tend to live by. So, I tell people, if you really truly want to change, the only person that can change, it starts on the inside. You got to change your heart. And I give people 3 master keys to do that, because everything that comes out of you comes out the ground of who you are. If you can guard your heart, you can guard the inside of you, you can master your success. And the 3 master keys is you got to protect your ear gate, your eye gate, and your mouth gate. A very simple, common philosophy, but a truth that will work. And if you can change your heart, your attitude's the control center for your life, your heart's the control center for your attitude. So if you can guard your heart and tune up your attitude, you can change your behavior and over time change your results.
Many people are they push back when we say your attitude determines your altitude. They say, yeah, right, but my attitude is fine like it is. And we realize, you and I both know, that your attitude is never fine enough, never good enough, because it's being chipped away and nicked away every day. You talk about it in your speeches. Could you give the analogy you give? I think it's so profound, about the fact that people get their cars oil changed. Would you tell that about to folks?
I mean, well, you think about it right now. I mean, you go to the doctor once a year for a physical, and why do you do that? Because it's a proven fact, if you take care of your body, you got a chance to live longer. If you take your car in, to get your car tuned up, it'll run better. And obviously, most of us change our oil in our car every 3,000, 4,000 miles. I learned from one of my mentors, Zig Ziglar, that we all need a checkup from the neck up every now and then, because we all get this thing that Zig talks about called stinking thinking. And you are what you think you are all day long. And so the key thing is, if I can change my thinking, if I can elevate how I think, I can then start to change my whole environment. What you think about is what you bring about. And even in the Bible, it talks about in Genesis 11:6, if you can imagine it, if you can think it, you can obtain it. So Henry Ford said years ago, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So there's nothing new under the face of the sun. Our attitude, whether you call it attitude, whether you call it mental toughness, whether you call it positive thinking, it's not just positive thinking alone. I mean, this is a universal law, but that truly is the start. So here's what I'm going to tell your listeners. 3 P's you got to watch out for if you're going through life, if something happens to you. And I think you talk about it in your book, Setback as a Setup. P number 1 is whatever happens to you is not permanent. And for most of us, once something knocks us down, we seem to hold on to that emotional baggage. So number 1 is not permanent. The second P is not pervasive, meaning that one thing is not going to destroy you. No matter how bad it looks, how bad it feels, it's not going to destroy you. The third P that people typically grab hold of is personal. When I lost my job, the first thing I thought was, okay, personal. I'm the only one that's lost their job? No. Because once you take it personal, you fall into a victim role. And you can't have victory over any adversity if you're playing the role of victim. So watch out for those 3 Ps. It's not permanent. It's not pervasive. And don't take it personal. And if you can just focus on that and take massive action, you're going to be all right.
And that's the truth. You have shown that from getting fired from your job and starting this company. We started about the same time, and you started speaking to corporate America. I was speaking to the young people, and I saw you just continue to rise, and you continue to have people calling and clamoring. And then last year, you had a PBS special. Am I right about it?
Well, I was blessed. I mean, you had a PBS special. You know, Les Brown who's opened so many doors for us as professional speakers, especially African-American speakers. You know, Les has been a mentor to you and I for years, and I can't thank him enough. You know, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, all of my mentors, but I had the PBS special, and that was something I've always wanted to do. But you know, anytime you try to do something new, fear is going to show up. And we know we're not born with a spirit of fear, but fear will try to show up to paralyze you. And prior to that special, fear showed up, knocked at my door. I came home, it was sitting on the sofa drinking a cold one. Fear had a buzz. So I realized that, you know, when fear shows up, what conquers fear is faith.
Yes.
So I had to start renewing my mind, standing on that word, calling people like you to get some advice from you, and just realizing that, you know what, I've got relationships, I've got great mentors in my life, and so when I think I can't do something, I got to reach out to get that support, and that's why we tune into your show, is because the greatest motivational speakers in the world, the greatest people in the world, we need a show like this because we all need to be encouraged. We all need to be uplifted, and that's why it's an ongoing process. Motivation is not permanent. Eating's not permanent either, so it's something you do daily. So that's why we tune into your show, because we're going to get hope, you know, we're going to get the truth, and we're going to get the word, the faith that's going to allow us to conquer this thing called life.
We have to overcome it, and you're right. It's your fear, and the fear stops us. It shackles us. It burdens us, and we all have to fear, but there are only two fears you're born with, the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Every other fear is a learned behavior, and Keith has helped so many people around the world to realize that fear is not necessary. We can overcome our fears, or our fears will overcome us. In your new book, you talk about Connect, and tell me about this Connect book and what we're learning in this book.
Well, you know, the bottom line, if you think about it, we got listeners listening right now. I'm going to tell you right now, oftentimes you can't change your life conditions. I mean, you can't change your business conditions. What I mean by that, if you're a mom who's divorced and you always had a dream that you would be married forever to one man and you'd have 2 kids, and now you're divorced and you have 4 kids, I mean, I don't care how positive your attitude is, you can't change the fact that you're divorced and now that you have 4 kids. So you can't change that life condition, but what you have to change is your blueprint. And many times our past is impacting our present that then affects our future. So I'm telling people, if you can't change the business condition, you can't change your life condition, change your blueprint, because your programming creates your belief, and it's your belief that creates your attitude. It's your attitude that determines your feelings. It's your feelings that determine your actions, and it's those actions that determine your results. And so if I can get people to realize, how do you take your turning point, that difficult thing in your past, move it to a learning point, take the life lesson, and with the right mindset, what patterns do I need to repeat? You know, who's having success in the lane I want to run in, and how do I repeat that pattern? Willie, you are the master of doing that, is seeking out those people who are good in a certain area, learning from those people, and applying the right strategy, the right ongoing strategy to get the end result. And truly, if you're listening right now about Connect, we all get disconnected. So my book, I wanted to give people a framework, a blueprint. So here's something that you can apply in your life. I mean, people want results today. It's about outcome. I mean, I can make you feel happy, I can pump you up, but at the end of the day, you want something that you can apply that's going to work. And so I interviewed thousands of people. I looked at this word called Connect. It's 7 letters. 7 is completion, and each letter gives you a principle. So it gives you a step to do, but underneath that step, I give you a beatitude, because it's not just what you do, how you need to be.
You know, that's powerful. We're going to come back. I know that you are a man of faith, and you understand the Beatitudes, which are great, that Jesus taught us the Beatitudes. And have a Beatitude. I know you're going to share it with us. I know you're going to teach us. I'm honored that my good buddy, one of the greatest motivational speakers in the world, is on the line with us today. Keith Harrell, America's Attitude Coach. Folks, tell Lottie Dottie and everybody, don't turn off your radio, because this is a day that's going to change your life. That's right. This is a day that will change your life. You've got to listen and take notes. I encourage you to take notes. We are so excited for this show with Keith Harrell, the late, great Keith Harrell, who passed away about 10 years ago, but I went back and found this show in the archives so I could share with you. We're going to play a little bit of the song, It's All About Your Attitude. You can go to musicandmotivationpowerbook.com, musicandmotivationpowerbook.com, to hear more of the songs and of the resources. But listen to this little bit from it's all about your attitude.
A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the T to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude.
It's about your attitude. 1 8-letter word that has such a big impact on your success or your failure. Attitude, not just about a disposition, but also about how you see the world, how you see life. Do you see it from a negative perspective, or do you see it from a positive perspective? It's your choice. It's about your attitude. See, my friend Keith Harrell wrote a book called Attitude is Everything, and he wasn't lying. Attitude truly is everything. It's about how you view things, how you perceive things, and how you go after things. Can you control the time? No. Can you control the weather? No. Can you control what other people say or do? No. You can only control you and your attitude. And your attitude to life determines your altitude in life. It's about your attitude. That's right. It's all about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show and Podcast. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and thought to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store. Get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley and the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show and Podcast. And I want you to go to winwithwillie.com. Winwithwillie.com. Make sure to sign up for my daily newsletter. Monday through Friday, we send a 1-minute message that will empower, encourage, uplift you, and give you a new positive attitude. And then once a week, we send a newsletter with the lessons I've learned from the interview that we either had or people I've met along the way that will bless you. And then I want to take a moment, as always, to thank our sponsor. When you start with CARE, you build a different kind of bank. Truist Bank. Truist believes that better lives and communities begin with care. That includes caring a lot about the well-being of the clients they see and the people who come past their way. It's an incredible, interesting experience to have a sponsor who really does care. Truist is committed to helping people with their money and mindset program on the Truist.com website. Go there. You'll get the Money and Mindset podcast with Bright and Brian. I've been on that podcast. You can listen to my episode, and they will help you to grow your wealth and to keep more of what you create. So go to Truist.com, our special partners, Truist.com. You'll be glad you did. Let's get back to this interview with Keith Harrell. I pulled it from the archives. He's been gone about a decade. He's the late, great Keith Harrell, but he still has impact. This is the interview that so many people are excited about. Keith Harrell. Thank you, Keith, for being on the line with me, brother.
Well, I feel real blessed. I'm just listening to you, how you really pump up me, and I give credit to the Lord, and I realize that what you're doing right now is elevating my belief in myself, and I can do all things through Him, but you're calling those things at a high level, so I receive it. And people listening, I don't have a big old ego. Ego stands for edge and got out, so I just know that all your guests, I mean, you elevate your guests to a level, and if they have the right mindset to release their faith, that's when God can go do the work. So I'm listening. You say, you're the greatest. I'm going, well, I didn't know I was, but I receive it. You know what I mean?
Well, I believe you are. In my mind, when I think of Keith Harrell, he's 6'7", and he has the heart of a giver. He just gives to people and encourages people around the world. I'm just honored to have my friend. We got Mo on the line from Atlanta. Mo, are you there?
Hey, I'm with you.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing super fantastic.
Oh, you heard of Keith Harrell. If you say super fantastic, you've heard Keith Harrell somewhere, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Isn't he awesome?
Yes, he is. And, I just wanted to call and say thanks to him. He had known me from Atlanta as a tailor here that once worked with him.
Oh, man, I got your suit in the closet, Mo. What's up, buddy?
And not much. You better take that out the closet because you're so sharp to speak, and I know you got to look the part as well.
Well, you know what? It's something when you talk about what you put on. Obviously, attitude is what you put on every day, and even how you put your clothes on will impact how you feel, and how you feel then impacts the light that you wear. So you're right. You know, I look at my life. I got Willie Jolley as a coach. I got Mo as a tailor as a coach. I got Creflo Dollar as my spiritual coach. You're only as successful as the coaches around you, because if you seek out the best can help you go to that next level. So I just appreciate you calling in, Mo, and appreciate what you do to help me look good.
You're always welcome. I needed to hear those 3 Ps this morning. I was riding in the car. I said, I got to give them a call.
And those 3 Ps were powerful, weren't they, Mo?
Yes, they were.
They were powerful. I had to write them down. I'm told Keith off the line, I'm going to make sure I let my son hear this tape, because my son just adores Keith Harrell and thinks so highly of him. And I want people to know that Keith is a man who pours into other people without anything in return. He doesn't want anything in return. He knows as he gives, so shall it be given unto him.
Yes.
Thank you, Mo. God bless you. And Mo, real quick, tell us the name of your company.
The name of my company is Solo Custom Apparel, and it's spelled SOULO.
SOULO, Custom Apparel in Atlanta.
Yes.
And people can reach you there, and they can get their suits, so they can look good like Keith always looked good.
That's it. It's another form of communication where you don't have to say as much, just look your best.
All right, my brother. Thank you so much. We got Dexter on the line. Dexter, how are you? Calling in. I'm not sure where, but calling in. How you doing, Dexter?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Outstanding. Thank you for calling.
Yes. You guys are doing an extremely well job, and it's much needed for the black community. I tell you, I'm so thankful that I have XM radio, and I'm a trucker, and I need this, just to keep going every day.
Yes.
It's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing, and I'm listening to Keith, and I'm saying, I wish I was where he was at. I wish I was there right now, where I had that inspirational every day, where I know for certain that I can do the things that I need to do. I have a lot of plans right now, but I don't have the contacts. I don't have the coaches.
Good point. Good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Keith, why don't you address that? Because many people think, we started like this. We didn't. Tell us some of the things you did, Keith, to help so others can know that they can start where they are to go to the next level. And some of the techniques and strategies you've used over the years to grow to where you are now.
Well, first off, I'll take you back. I was at IBM, and I got a new manager, and they had forced me to go down for this interview, which I didn't want to do, to be a guest instructor, to be an instructor in Atlanta. And I went down there, and I loved the job, and I came back, and I never heard anything from management, got a new manager. And so I got a bad attitude because they asked me to do something, and then no one gave me an update on my status. And then this guy calls me in his office. I think he's going to give me some updated news about a promotion, and he told me he's going to fire me because he's been there 30 days and noticed I had a bad attitude. And that same day, I get a call from my girlfriend who says she doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore. And so a friend of mine came to me and he said, Keith, you need to go to a self-help course called The Pursuit of Excellence. And I believe sometimes we all need to go somewhere to get what we need to reshape our attitude. And it was a 3-day course on accountability and forgiveness. And I had to forgive her for breaking up with me. I had to forgive IBM for not knowing, why I was chasing this new job and the new manager didn't know. And someone sent me a book by Zig Ziglar called See You at the Top. And with a simple note that said, you may not remember me, but over the 3 days, you helped change my life. And here's a book that's a summary of everything we just learned for the weekend. And I realized at that point, Willie, that regardless of how low a person is, there's always somebody lower. And I couldn't realize that I was able to impact somebody's life that weekend, but I guess I did. And I read that book for a whole year. And that whole book, when I look back on it a couple years ago, Zig had that book filled with the Word of God. And one of the scriptures said, you're made in the image of greatness. So every day I just kept filling my heart with the Word of God. And over time, my mom started to say to me, she said, honey, you changing. And I said, what you mean? She said, you just seem to be more optimistic. You seem to be more positive. I said, well, how is that, Mom? She said, well, Mama loves you unconditionally. But Mama like you a whole lot more now. So I started realizing that this thing called attitude and changing how I thought about myself. Now here's some of my past showing up. Some of my ex-girlfriend's girlfriends are bumping into me now downtown Seattle playing the pity song. Oh, she didn't do you right. Oh, that was cold how she did you. I mean, I told them, I said, that happened 2 months ago. I said, guys, that's my past. I respect that she had to make a decision, and now I'm making a major decision. I'm moving forward with my life. And so my eyes are down the road. So if you're listening right now, whatever you're going through it, and your victory is on the other end. So people say to me, well, how do you get help? It starts with the book. It starts with the good book. It starts with meditating on good success, starts day in and day out. So if you're not going to do the truth, you can't expect the reality. So start by picking up a book, the good book, to start renewing your mind. And in your own backyard, there is somebody that can mentor you. In your own backyard, you can Google right now and find mentors without ever meeting them in person to glean from them their strategies. And so, when people say, well, how do you get started? First off, here's the ultimate formula for success. If we got time, I'll give it to you real quick.
Go ahead, Keith.
Number one is you got to know your outcome. So many times we're confused. And when I realized after coming from Atlanta, I said, I want to be an instructor. For 8 years at IBM, I never had a goal. And we always have these performance reviews. And then the manager would say, well, do you want to be a manager? No, I don't want to be a manager. Well, that was just fear talking because I didn't think I was smart enough to be a manager. And so they said, you don't want to be like me? No, well, what do you want to be? I just be a salesperson. And not having a goal or knowing your outcome will always hurt your future. So number one, you got to know your outcome because clarity is power. And so once I came back from Atlanta, I knew I wanted to be a guest instructor. And then I realized I went into the DNA of our family. My dad taught accounting and business for 36 years. My uncle taught pharmacy at Texas Southern for 50 years. And I realized teaching is in my blood. And then so I went to IBM and I said, hey, now I want to be an instructor. And I remember the branch manager saying, that's a dead-end job. I will not promote anybody out of this branch as an instructor. You need to go back and get a 5-year plan. That's just a 2-year plan. And I don't want to hear about you being an instructor. But what he didn't know is I knew God had already called me for that spot. And I don't care what adversity comes at you. When you know the outcome, you stay on it. And 2 years later, because of that strong outcome, that clarity of power, that same guy that said he would never promote me ended up carrying my bags to the car as I drove to the airport to go to my dream job. So God will equip to bring the resources if you truly are engaged in the lane that he called you to run in. So number two is you got to know why. And through that whole adversity, all the things that happened where he said he wouldn't promote me having a bad territory, me getting no support, thinking that dream wouldn't come true, I knew the reason why I was supposed to be an instructor, that this was my calling, this was my purpose. So when you have clarity of why, that's what the benefit's all about. That's where energy becomes power. And so now I got a strong outcome. I know why I want this deal. And the third thing, here's the key where a lot of people miss it. You got to take massive action, not just action. Well, I tried a couple times, Mr. Harrell, it didn't work. Willie, how many calls did you make before you got hired and finally got a paid engagement?
I made hundreds of calls.
Go out and give free speeches. I mean, you just didn't show up yesterday and say, I'm going to have a national radio show. I mean, you look at the number of miles that you've been on an airplane. You paid a price. Our mentor, Les Brown, when he says you got to be hungry. People don't understand what that means. If you've ever been hungry, your stomach growls. I mean, you become uncomfortable. You become almost sickly because you got to have food. Well, that's what I'm talking about. When you want it bad enough to where you take massive action, you're doing something every day to make that dream come true.
Wow, wow, wow. This interview is powerful. It is golden. This is an interview I did, oh man, it must have been about 15 years ago with Keith Harrell, and he passed away about 10 years ago. And I did a few excerpts on my daily radio show this week on Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell, and so many people said, wow, who is that? We need to know more. And so that is why I went and found this interview that we did a number of years ago in the archives, in the vault, and now we're playing it for you. He is one of the greatest, even to this day, one of the great influencers on attitude, the late, great Keith Harrell. We'll be right back. We've got more for you. We've got more to come, and we want you to grow and go to the next level. So stay tuned. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show and podcast. And for sure, your best is yet to come. We'll be right back.
Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent. You can call on me when you need me. You can call on me. Call me. You can call on me. Pick up the phone. You can call and call me.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friends said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley on the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way Show and podcast across America, around the world. And we've got this archive, value-based interview with Keith Harrell, author of the book, Attitude is Everything, Hall of Fame speaker, named one of the top speakers in the world. And he is here on tape. He's gone on to be with the Lord, but he is here with us today on tape. And he's going to give you more resources to help you to win more in your everyday pursuits. Hey, let's get back into this interview with this incredible tribute to my friend, Keith Harrell. Had a couple more points you wanted to share on how to turn this around and secrets for success.
Yeah, when you talk about massive action, let me just explain to to your listeners that it truly is about massive action. I mean, I called Les Brown 100 times, 150 times, could never get Les Brown. He's too busy back in the day. But I got Sue. You know Sue Bernhardt, his right-hand person.
That's right.
I just talked to Sue yesterday. We have a relationship for 15 years now. And Sue said, Keith, you just kept calling. I said, I couldn't get Les, but I got you. And you kept inspiring me, Sue, and you kept telling me. And then finally one day, Les called me at 11:30 at night and said, I watched your video. I can hear you, but I can't see you. You got to work on the quality of your tape. I mean, you got to pursue it to the point where you may not get me, but get my book. I mean, Dennis Kimbrough, I called him at home, and he told me some empowering things to do, some books to read. So sometimes we can't always get exactly the live source, but through technology today, you can get their information. Ivory Dorsey in Atlanta. I mean, running after those people. And if you can't get to the people, get to their materials. Digest their materials. Everything I'm speaking today, there's nothing new on the face of the sun. Go back and read Napoleon Hill. He has the ultimate formula for success. I'm just quoting Tony Robbins' ultimate formula for success. All these people are speaking the truth. Go get the secret, the universal law. What you think about is what you bring about. There is nothing new, but the point is, this gentleman that was on the call said, but. As soon as he said, but, oh, you done zeroed out everything before that. So get the but out the way. Let's put it on the table right now, because here's the fourth step. You got to measure. And I think he's about ready to tell me he's done all this, and now he's trying to measure, because we got to measure, are we where we need to be? Are we making any progress? Without any progress, you're going to give up. You think about it. If you go to the gym every day and don't see any change, with no progress, you're going to quit on yourself. So measure where you are. Now, here's the fifth one, which is key. If you're not where you are, the fifth one is change your approach. I mean, if you're not getting where you've been, it's been 5 years, you're still in the same place. You got to change what you're doing. And then what do? Go back and measure again. Still not there. Change the approach. Go back and measure again. Still not with the right outcome. Change your approach. How often do you do it? Until you get your outcome.
Woo! You know, I love that. I love you. Keep doing it till you get your outcome. I heard a quote the other day, Keith. You're going to love this one. I was speaking somewhere, and a lady said to me, she said, things will work out in the end. And if they don't work out, it's not the end. Ain't that the truth, brother?
Yeah, that's well. I'm not sure if he's still on the line. Is he still on the line?
No, he's not on the line right now. But you answered his question, and I thank him. He had to drop off, but I want to thank him for calling all your callers. I want you to go to wjspeaks.com. You just email me from WJ Speaks. I was one of your guests. Oh, I heard you today, and I want your free gift. You know, we send it to you, our gift to you for just being a part of our family. Family, we're trying to grow people to live their dreams, to give God the glory, to live a life that just glorifies God, and live a life that helps people to see that the best truly is yet to come. She just said, when I picked up the line, she said, I just got to tell you how much this has impacted. Are you still there?
Yes, I am. I sure am. And I really am enjoying this program.
Oh, I'm so glad you called in. See, God orchestrated for you to call in today, didn't he?
Yes, he did. I tell you, there's no accident. God is wonderful. I called this morning to get a telephone number for someone else.
And see how God worked it all out.
And wonderful. And I called my sister from the other room. I said, come in here and listen to this.
Amen. You got to hear Keith Harrell. Come in, y'all. Call Lottie Dottie and everybody. Come listen to Keith Harrell and Willie Jolley on the line together, because we want you to live your dreams. And we are both men who believe that God is an awesome God who's able to do incredible things, and nothing happens by chance or happenstance. So I'm thankful that you listened in, and I wanted you just to call, just to say how much you were enjoying it. I wanted Keith to hear that.
Philly. We are sitting here. We really enjoy. You are new to us, Mr. Harrell, and you are just fantastic. Willie Jolley, we have your tape.
Amen. God bless you. I am so glad. Just hang on, because I want you to hear the last few minutes, and I want you to be able to listen in. But I just wanted Keith to hear that his impact is just worldwide. He's such a humble person. Let me tell you, Keith is so humble, and he's so giving. And when my brother died, and my mother died, my brother died, and my father-in-law died in 30 days, and Keith just supported me and supported my sister-in-law and their children, and I'll never forget him for that, because he just gives without any desire for anybody else to do for him, and I just can't do enough for him because he's been such a blessing to my life. Thank you so much. Well, Keith,
God bless you, Keith.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you very much for calling in, man. We love you.
Oh, we love you. Keep it up. I'm telling you, because we love you, and I love your sayings, which is strong.
All right, well, you have a super fantastic...
Keep them on, Nako. I want them to hear the rest of the show. Folks, I want you to remember that Keith, any closing comments in this last couple minutes of the show, anything you want to just encourage people or direct them, or anything you want them to know about your products and your services, anything that you can share with people, they would be happy to hear.
Well, I just want to, again, lift you up and lift all the listeners up. We know this show was created before the foundations of this earth, and this day was purposeful. The guy said he was a truck driver, and we're all driving our success in life. And I just know if you're living your life looking through a rear-view mirror, it's going to make it that much more difficult to drive forward. And I just challenge us all. You know, my favorite thing is the Lord and what He's done for all of us. And amen simply means so be it. So now it's time to take action so we can so be it. And let our light so shine today that people may see our good works and glorify our Father in heaven. I just thank you, brother, man. I love you. You've encouraged me, and you over-promoted me today. And I just humbly thank you for what you're doing. You are the real deal. And that's why I love you, and anything I could ever do for you, it's just a blessing to be a blessing. So God bless you. Thank you for a super fantastic opportunity, and you know this. I love you.
I love you too, man. Thank you for being my guest today. I am so impressed with you and inspired by you, and my children love you, and my wife loves you, and we always praying for you. And we come back to Florida, you know we coming to see you.
You got a place to stay. I love you, brother.
Love you, man. Have a great day. Folks, I'm so excited that you have been a part of this show today. I want you to know that this is a great day. God has given you a great day, another day to live your dreams, another day to do something powerful and positive with your life. Don't take it for granted. Don't just sit on it. Go after it. Set your goals. Keith told us you got to have a goal. You got to know your outcomes. He made it clear that if you know your outcome, know where you're going, that you can start to turn your life around. You can live life to the highest level. And I want you to live a great life. I want you to live a life that just magnifies the Lord and says, God, look what you did in my life. And you can help others. If you can help enough other people get what they want, you get everything you want. I'm excited. You know, as the old man told me on the plane, I'm struggling. I'm trying to just make the ends meet. Can't keep the bills paid. Don't know how I'm going to make it through. And this old man gets on the plane with me, and we start talking to each other. And he says, young man, you look like you're struggling. I said, I'm struggling. I got paid today, and the money's already allocated, and I got bills to pay. I got children to feed. I got a wife at home. I don't know how I'm going to make it. He looked at me. He said, young man, I'm going to ask you a question. I said, yes, sir. He said, young man, how old do you think I am? I said, I think you're about 60 years old. He looked at me, smiled. He took off his glasses, looked me in my eye. He said, young man, I'm 88 years old. I'm 88 years old, and my best is yet to come. And if an 88-year-old man could see that his best days were in front of him and not behind him, what did I have to worry and complain and cry about? And it was out of that day I got a new optimism, a new faith, and a belief that the best really was yet to come. And I went to work and got busy. I had a positive attitude. He gave me a positive outlook, a positive uplook, and a positive inlook. And with that positive attitude, that optimism, I was able to go on and start the books and the tapes and the videos and changing my life by changing my attitude. This is a show that I hope you enjoyed today. It was my gift to you. Stay focused, stay on it, and stay positive. Whatever you do, stay positive. Go to winwithwillie.com for resources to help you stay positive. Every day I send out a free, FREE, 1-minute message to help you stay positive so you can win more. Go to winwithwillie.com, sign up for the newsletter, sign up for the resources, buy some of the books, invest in your thinking, invest in your future, and your life will change. Well, I want to thank you all. Again, I want to thank our sponsor, Truist Financial, Truist Bank. Go to Truist.com. Check out the Truist podcast, Money and Mindset with Bright and Brian. Real talk about real ways to grow your wealth and choose your mindset for success. Tune in wherever you listen to podcasts. Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. I want to also give a quick shout out to my friend Everett Hall, the great clothes designer. I recently had his suit on when I was on the Today Show, and people from all over said, whoo, 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 that suit said it all before you even open your mouth. You want to go and check out Everett Hall online. He gets all the glory from me for the suit that he gives me, or he gives me all different types of clothing, and I wear them on television, and people are blown away. Everett Hall, if you're a man and you want to look good and make an impression before you even open your mouth, go check out Everett Hall. Well, that's all I got today. I got to go because we got more next week for you. Stay tuned for more next week. Go to the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast, get the podcast, and stay tuned to us on Monday nights on the Jolly Marriage Show, 9 o'clock on A Jolly Marriage on Facebook, A Jolly Marriage on Instagram, and Willie Jolley LinkedIn Live. Hey, remember for sure, your best is yet to come. Have a great day. God bless.
Are you tired of crying and complaining? Tired of feeling like life don't treat you fair? Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere? Have you maybe come to the conclusion that there's nothing at all that you can do? Well, just look in any mirror and you'll see who is really truly stopping you. My mind. It's up to every one of us to take charge of our life and to make it what we want. If you think that it takes too much time, think again, 'cause I'm telling you it don't. The fact is, it only takes a minute to make up your mind, and now is your time to make your run. It only takes a minute, 60 seconds to begin to decide to win. Just get it on. Just get it on.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.